Good morning, everyone. This is Bremster, and today I have the luck of being able to do a puzzle by the mighty Tyrgannus. I found this puzzle and it looked very interesting to me. This was a puzzle in the Cracking the Cryptic archive, and it was also posted to Logic Masters Germany. And I reached out to Tyrgannus and said, may I do this? Because puzzles that look interesting are always the ones that I jump on. Sometimes I get submissions, although that seems to have slowed down. So, although I have received a few submissions recently that I attempted and completely failed at. So you will never see those because, oh my lord. One turned out to be a 5.5 hour video before I realized I was still recording and I still couldn't solve it. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about this puzzle. This is Motherboard by Tyrgannus, which is a puzzle that uses two constraints, lockout lines and Kropki pairs. If you wish to attempt this puzzle, either before or after I do my rules description, depending on your familiarity with them, there will be links below to both the solving links and to the page on Logic Masters Germany. Below will also be a link to where Tyrgannus posts his puzzles on Logic Masters Germany. Now the onus is on me to attempt to solve this. This is apparently not ridiculously easy, so I'm a little nervous because I've been doing quite badly, but let's go. So, in normal Sudoku rules apply. In every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. These are lockout lines. Now, the wording I have for lockout lines are that blue lines are lockout lines. Digits placed in the diamonds must differ by at least 4. So whatever we put into one diamond, the next diamond must be at least 4 different. And digits on the attached lines must be higher or lower than the digits in the diamonds. So what that basically means is if you were to put, say, a 2 here, this would have to be at least 4 different, so it could be 7. But if we were to do that, then all 4 of these numbers on the lines would have to be outside 2 and 7, which actually would not work because they would have to be from 1, 8 and 9, and that would not work. So this actually would be broken. So that's an interesting thing to start with. The last one is Kropki pairs, which is anything 2 cells separated by a black dot will have a ratio of 1 to 2. Cells separated by a white dot will be consecutive. Not all dots are given. And that's enough for us to solve this. I'm assuming because of all of these. Give the puzzle a shot on the links below, or just watch me fumble around for what I expect is going to be about an hour, but you will know from the duration of the video. This is a lockout line puzzle, so I am absolutely jumping to my calculator, and we are now going to attempt to break into this puzzle. So, first thing I notice is this is going to be 2, 4 because of the Kropki restriction, and these will be 1, 2, 4, 8, and that's because you can never put 5, 7, or 9 on a Kropki dot because their ratios are either something and a half or over 10, and 3 or 6 will not work because they only ratio with each other, and this is a chain of 3. When you do the 1, 2, 4, 8, 2 and 4 must be in the middle, because if you put 8 in the middle, they'd both have to be 4. If you put 1 in the middle, they'd both have to be 2. Also, when you see a chain like this, you must put 2 and 4 on it. That limits this to 1, 8, 3, or 6, because they're the 4 black Kropki numbers, not including 2 and 4. So if this is 1, this will be 2. If it's 3, it'll be or 3 and 6 or 4. So these are either 2, 3, 4, or 6. This is actually more limited because if this is a 1, this can't be a 1 because both of those would have to be a 2. So I can take 1 out of there, which means these can't be 2. If I put 3 in there, these would have to be 1 and 2, and I can't use 2, so I can't put 3 in there either. So if I can't put 3 in there, I can't put 6. So these... Oh, if this is 6, these are both 3, and if these are 8, these are both 4. So these two cells will be the same. So if they're 3, 3 is going to have to go slap bang in the middle of that box. This is 6 or 8, so this is 5, 7 or 9, and this is 5, 7 or 9. And one of them must be a 7, because if it's 6, they're 5 and 7. If it's 8, they are 7 and 9. This is 135. This is 135. Again, depending on what that does. This being 135, if it's 1, that is 2. If it's 3, that's 2 or 4. If it's 5, it's 4 or 6. So that's 2, 4 or 6. Three must go in one of those 3 cells, but that's... Okay, I'm going to look at these, because these look way too deliberately placed to be... So because of the constraint of lockout lines, that something needs to be 4 different, there are very few options that give you 4 numbers that are all different within a lockout line. So for example, and this is me looking at my calculator, if you were to put 1, 5 on a lockout line, and this is just me doing an example here. So if these two were to be 1 or 5, then these could be 6, 7, 8, and 9. That I'm doing that because on my calculator, the first one I have is the list of 1s and then the list of 2s and everything. And the first one is 1, 5, because 1, 6 only has 7, 8, and 9 outside of it. So you couldn't do that. So if this was 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's one option you would have, and that would be forced. But your other options are equally forced. So your options are 1, 5 with 6, 7, 8, 9, 2, 6 with 1, 7, 8, 9. So you're moving up the list. So you then get 3, 7 with 1, 2, 8, 9, 4, 8 with 1, 2, 3, 9, or 5, 9 with 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you increase the minimum digit, you also have to increase the maximum digit, and the digits that aren't included will slide. So if this you couldn't make it 1, 6, so it's either 1, 5, or the next one would be 2, 6, and that picks up the 6 but drops out the 1, so it's then 1, 7, 8, 9. The next one would be 3, 7, that would drop the 7 but pick up the 2. You couldn't then put the 7, but you would have to put the 2, so this would become 1, 2, 8, 9. So you've got 5 options depending on all of these have to be exactly 4 apart. So there's basically a 4 difference dot between all of these triangles. I'm probably not explaining that well. Is that going to cause a problem for that dot? Okay, let me just make that list of what those possibilities can be. Okay, so let's look at the options here. If this is 1, 2, then this cannot be filled. So there aren't many options for what can go on a black Kropki dot, because you've got 1, 2, 4, 8, and you've got 3 and 6. So let's look if 1 is on this, it becomes 1, 2. So let's look at 1, 2. If it's 1, 2, then you can't use 1, 5. You can't use 2, 6. You could use 3, 7, but you need to use 1 on the line, but you couldn't because you've used 1, 2. 4, 8 needs 1 on the line. 5, 9 needs 1 on the line. So this cannot be 1, 2. Can it be 2, 4? So if it was 2, 4, 1, 5 with 6, 7, 8, 9 works. 3, 7 with 1, 2, 8, 9 doesn't, and 5, 9 with 1, 2, 3, 4 doesn't. So 2, 4 does work with 1, 5 here and 6, 7, 8, 9 here. Okay. So the next one we want to look at, so I'm just going to make a note here. This is me marking the options for here. So 2 and I'm going to use row 1 is to mark the candidates so that it's visible rather than putting it on my sheet. So 2, 4 works. This is not me saying 2, 4 in this cell. This is me using it as a marking the pair possibilities. So the next possibility that we're looking at is, let's start with 3 because we've used the only 2 option possible, 3, 6. If we use 3, 6, 1, 5 does not work because we need 6, 7, 8, 9 and the 6 is gone. 2, 6, no, because with the 6 is in there. 3, 7 doesn't work. 4, 8 needs 1, 2, 3, 9. We don't have the 3. 5, 9 doesn't work because 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3, 6 does not work, which takes both the 3 and the 6 out. So the last option we've got is 4, 8. If we do 4, 8, 1, 5 needs 6, 7, 8, 9, doesn't work. 2, 6 needs 1, 7, 8, 9. 3, 7 needs 1, 2, 8, 9. 4, 8 doesn't work because it's what we've said is in the dot. And 5, 9 needs 1, 2, 3, 4, which doesn't work because we'd need the 4. This has to be 2, 4. And if this is 2, 4, what did we say that had to be? We can't use 2, 6. We can't use 3, 7 because we'd have to put 2 on the line. We can't use 4, 8 because there's a 4. And we can't use 5, 9. We'd need 4 on the line. This has to be 1, 5. This is 6, 7, 8, 9. I know that felt a bit like bifurcation, but I think that's what we had to do. And that becomes a 3. That's kind of cool. Sorry if you felt that was like bifurcation, but that's sort of what I had to do. So can I do a similar trick over here now? So five can't go on a lockout line, and that's because if you think about it, if you put 5 on a lockout line, what could you bind it with so it's locked out? Because everything has to be 4 different. So if you start with a 1, the minimum you could put on the other end is a 5, and you haven't locked out the line. If you start with a 9, the minimum you could put on the other end is a 5, and that doesn't lock out the 5. If you start with any of the other digits on each side, they have to jump over the 5, and you haven't locked out the 5. So you can never put a 5 on a line. You can put a 5 on the end like this with a 1 or a 9, but you can never put a 5 on the line. So 5 can't go here, 5 can't go here. Yeah, it hasn't. 5 can't go in those. Hang on, 1, 3, and 5 need to go in here. So 5 must be on that lockout line. That's going to continue because 5 couldn't be in any of those cells and it can't be in those cells. Now 5 can't be in any of those cells and it can't be in those cells. So 5 is on that lockout line. 5 can't be in those cells and it can't be in those cells. 5 is in that lockout line in the end, which means these have to be 1, 5, 9. Because with a 5, for the same reason, has to be 4 different. You can't use anything other than a 1 or a 9. But this 3 was also looking down here. So there has to be a 3 on this line. So if it's 1, 5, it has to be 6, 7, 8, 9. And there's no 3 in that. But 5, 9 gives us exactly 1, 2, 3, and 4. which means that's not a 1. This is a 5, 9. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 9. So this is 6, 7, and 8. This 6, 7, 8 gives us 2, 4, and 9 in those cells. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple, but we know that 1 is down there, so we can take the 1 out of there. So these are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We cannot put a 5 on the line. We can't put a 9 in there. Actually, this has to be a 3 because there's a 2, 4, 9 triple. So that was a 3 or a 4, but we'd locked the 4 into there. So this becomes a 3. We knew that those two were the same. They connect to a 6. The 6 has a 7 and a 5 on either side of it, so there's no 9 there. That's a 5, 7. We know those two are no longer 3s because that 3 sees that cell, that 3 sees that cell. We put a 3 right in the middle. There is absolutely a 9 in one of those two. Now, does this 5, 9, it forces a 9 onto this. Oh, but it doesn't have to be there because if this is 1, 5, this is 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a 2, 3, 4 triple. There must be a 1 somewhere in here. It doesn't have to be a 5 in there, though. That was very nice break-in. Can I push that over here somehow? Three has to be down here. 6. Three is down here. Nine has to be in there. 9 has to be in there. So if this is 3, this is 2. If this is 3, this is 1. Oh, sorry, 2 or 4. But that 3 in here just 3 with 2 or 4 or 3 with 2. But if 3 is here with 2, that leaves this wide open. But if 3 is here, this is 2, 4, and this would force that one to be either 2, 1 or 4, 5. It looks like there's still a lot of options there. And putting in all of the options feels way too much like just putting in stuff to see what goes on. I'm going to see if I can find something more logical before I do that. Let's look at these lockout lines. These are here for a reason. So the other end of a 5 would have to be a 9. The other end of a 6 or a 1. So this would be a 1 or a 9. Now, if this was 5, 1, now this is 6, 7, 8. I've got to pay attention to that. So 5, 1 would work. 5, 9 would need this to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's not. So this is not a 9 from a 5. 6 to get a 6, 7, or 8 in the middle could either be 1 or 2. 7 to get a 6, 7, or 8 in the middle could either be 1, 2, or 3. And 8 to get either 6, 7, or 8 in the middle does not work. This cannot be an 8 because 8-1 only has 9, 8-2 has 1 and 9, 8-3 has 1, 2 and 9, and 8-4 has 1, 2, 3 and 9. And none of those fit here. So this can never be an 8. This is a 5, 6, 7. This is a 1, 2, 3. And it's not 3. So this is a 1 or a 2. So it's 1, 5, which leaves all of those options. But didn't I... makes me wonder about this possibility, although 3-2 leaves this wide open and doesn't make... Because I was wondering if I'm getting close to a quadruple, but I don't think I am. Let's look at this lockout line. So 2 on the other end would have 6, 7, 8, or 9. Oh, good God. 4 on the other end would have 8 or 9. 6 on the other end would have 1 or 2. None of those are 5. So 5 now is locked into those 3 cells. And the reason I note that is because that forces 5 down here as well, but not into the bottom. So 3 and 5 have to go in here. 5 must go in one of those 2 cells. So if 3 and 5 have to go here, they're not consecutive with each other. So I can't put 3 and 5 down here. So one of these has to be 3 or 5. It can't be a 1. So this is either going to go 3 with 2 or 4 or 5 with 4. And the other one is going to have to go here. So this is either going to be 3 with 2 or 4, or 5 with 4 or 6. If this is 3, this needs to have a 2 or 4. If one of these is 3s, this will have to be a 2, have 2 or 4. There is a virtual 2-4 pair here. Because I've got a 3 on... This is definitely a 2 or 4. Do I have a virtual? I could go 3, 2, 5, 6, and I don't have a forced 4. And if I go 3... No. Wait, no. This is 5. This is 4. If this is 5, this is 4, and this becomes 3, 2. If this is 3, there's something weird going on here. If this is 3, this becomes 5. This is 5. 3 is in one of those. So if this is 3, this is 5. This is 5. Yeah, that. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. This is 5-9 because of the 5-9 here. This becomes 1-2-3-4. There's a lot of 1-2-3-4s in here now. These would be 1-2-3. There'd be 5 1-2-3-4s. So if this is 5-9, these would be 1-2-3-4, and those would be 1-2-3-4. These cannot be 1-2-3-4. These have to be 6-7-8-9, which means these are not 9, these are 1-5. This is now 2, 3, and 4, which takes 2, 3, and 4 out of there. This is definitely a 6, which means this is definitely a 5. This is definitely a 3, which does not narrow that down at all. This is not a 6. This is 1, 7, or 8, but there must be a 1 in it. So this is a 2. 2 is with either 6 or 7. There's no 5 in there anymore. It takes 2 out of those. This is a 1. This is a 5. 1 is now forced into there. This is a 3-4 pair. This becomes the 2. That 3 is looking down, making that a 4 and that a 3. That makes that a 2 and that a 4. One and 5 must be up here, but that doesn't give... I've got the same problem as I don't know how to force any of that. So if this is 2, 6, this is 1, 7, 8, 9. If this is 2, 7, it's 1, 8, 9. Either way, I can't put a 6 on this arrow, on this lockout line. I don't know how many times I've called it an arrow. I apologize if it's too many. 1, 2, 4, 8. Can I knock any of those out? This feels like it should be more pressured. I've got to put an 1. I've got to put a 4 in there. But with 2, 6, or 7, I can't put a 4. This is a 4. Because 2, 6 does not lock out a 4. 2, 7 does not lock out a 4. So there's no 4 there. Does that? I don't think it does. So these are 1, 7, 8, 9 without either of those being 1. There's 7, 8, 9. So we've got the 6, 7, 8, 9 across, which are the quadruples. That makes sense. I feel like I'm missing something important in this middle box. Two, six. These could both be the same, so 2, 7 could lock out 8 and 9. 2, 6 is already fulfilled. This dot, if this is a 2, this is a 1. If this is a 4, this is a 3 or a 5. If this is a 9, this is an 8. Did that really give me nothing? Okay, can I determine what that is? So are these 1, 2, 3, 4, or are they 6, 7, 8, 9? If they're 6, 7, 8, 9, this becomes a 1, 2, this becomes a 6, this becomes a 5. I know there's a 4 in there. Hang on, there's a 4 in there and a 4 there. That's a 4. There is now a 5 in there. That's a 7. That's a 5. Which puts a 5 into one of those two, which I already had, which makes that a 9 and that a 5, which doesn't seem to have done much except take 9 out of there. Two is now in there, but I still don't know where. Back to the original question. So if this is 6, 7, 8, 9, is that broken? If that is 6, 7, 8, 9, this is 1, 2, this is 2, 4, and they're not far enough apart. These have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, because otherwise that's a 1, 2, because I'd have 6, 7, 8, 9 quad in that row, and this would be 2, 4, because there'd be a 6, 7, 8, 9 quad here. 1, 2, and 2, 4, not far enough apart. Okay. Oh, there's an easier way of seeing that. If these were 6, 7, 8, 9, I'd have to put 2, 3, and 4 somewhere in this box. They'd have to go down here. They'd literally all have to sit in those two cells, which wouldn't work, because 2, 3, and 4 would not be in any of those. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I take 1 out of those. That's a 5, 9. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's no 4 in there. There's no 3 in there. There's got to be more. Please, sir, I want some more. So these are 2, 3, 4, and 9. There's no 3 there. There's no 3 there. feel I'm missing something blatantly obvious here. I need to put, I'm going to put these in as well. 1, 6, 7, and 8. And my computer seems to be shutting down around me. I'm trying to do, I'm getting alerts all over the place. Hopefully that will make them go away. There's got to be something going on here. Well, there's no 6 here. There's no 6 here. What am I missing? Is it these lockout lines again now that I've... Because everything else seems to be resolved. Like this one is now resolved, whatever that turns out to be. These are all resolved. These dots are resolved. Like this 3 could be 2 or 4. So... Wait, there's no 7 down here. There now has to be a 6 up here. So that's not a 6. There's no 7 there, because 7 must be in one of those two. That 7 is saying there's no 7 there. So there is a 7 in one of those 3. There's something going on. This has to be providing me more information. Like if this is 1, this is 2, and this is 4. So this can't be 1 anymore. If this is 2, this is 4, this is 8. If this is 1, 2, 4, 8 works. Does it? 2, 4, 8. Yes. 4, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that works. One is in one of those 3, so there's no 1 there. I feel I'm just picking at this. This is 1, 7, 8, 9. So that's 1, 8, or 9. So if this is 2, this is 6. And these have to be from 1, 7, 8, and 9. I don't see a problem with any of that. If this is 7, this would have to be 2, and these would be from 1, 8, and 9. And again, I don't see a problem with that. Eight is in there somewhere. Nine is absolutely in there. I'm really stuck on this one. One, two, 4, 8, 6. I am really, really stuck on this one. Two makes this 1 and this 4. Makes this 3. 2, 1, 4, 3, 2. This can't be a 2. This cannot be 3, 2. That's hard to see. If this is 2, I'm actually going to test this by putting digits in because I've been waiting long enough. If this is 2, then I need to put 1 and 4 in here. The only way I can do that is with 1 and with 4. This now has to be 3 because it can't be 1. I can't make this 4, so this has to be 2. And that takes 2 and 3 out of all of those, and they have to all be 4, 9. That is insane. I don't know if that's the way that has to be done, but I'm taking it. So these are now 2, 8. So there's no 8 here. This is a 1, 9. I've no idea if that was needed to be done that way. 1, 9. Now that 4 means this is not 1. Did that give me nothing? There's no 4 there. Now this still can't be 3, 2. In fact, if this was a 3, this would either have to be 3, 2 or 3, 4. If this was 3, 2, these would all have to be 4, 9. If this was 3, 4, these would all have to be 2, 9. This can't be a 3. This is a 5. There's no 2 here. So this 5 makes this a 4 or a 6. 4 goes with 8 or 9. 6 goes with 1 or 2. So there's no 7 there anymore. So this is 1, 2, 7, 8, 9. I'm missing something with this puzzle. I'm sure that was way more convoluted than was needed. 1, 2, 7, 8, 9. So if this is 4, this is 8 or 9, and it's 1, 2, 3, 9. If this is 6, this is 2, and it's 7, 8, 9. So it's 4, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. Damn, they all work. How is that still... Did that give me nothing? Well, that gave me 9 there and 5 there. That takes 9 out of there and puts 9 into there. But I've got 9 and 9 and 9. That's nothing. Oh, you're kidding me. Nine, 8, 2, 1, 4, 5. 5 and 5. How? No, I just got that. So 5 has to go up there. This is no longer a 5. This is a 5, which makes that a 4, which takes 4 out of there. That being a 4 takes 4 out of there. These are now 1, 2, 8, and 9. There's no 9 there. This is 1, 2, or 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a 7 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a 7 in there, which means there's no 7 there. But four is now in there somewhere. Did this really not? This is 1, 6, 7, 8. You are kidding me. Someone in the comments is going to tell me the obvious thing I missed, and I'm looking forward to reading it because so there needs to be an 8 in there, but that's all fine. This is all these triples and everything are all pointing at each other. So 6, 2 can have the 1. 4, 8, or 9 can have... Yeah, all of these are possible. 2 with 6 or 7, 1, 7, 8, 9, they're all fine. One can, yeah, 1 can go there as far as I can see. 2, 3, 4 has 4 is in there. 5. 6 has lots of spots. 7, 8. I'm not going to give up on this one. I refuse. Nine has to be in there, so I can take 9 out of there, but I knew that from those anyway. Okay, so 1 and 1 are lined up here, so there can't be a 1 there, but that's... So 1 must be up there. Which I knew because there's no 1 there anyway, so that's meaningless. I've been talking about shutting down my channel, and this is why. Because I'm looking for like 6, 7, 8, 9, no pressure from quads and stuff, but six, seven, eight. Like, there's no forced quad or anything that I can see. Like 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. If that was a 4, that would have to be 8 or 9. Hang on, is this it? So if this was a 4, this would be 8 or 9, and this would be forced to be 1, 2. So if this is 4, this is 8 or 9. Either way, I can't put 8 here. So 4, 1 or 2, and I would have all 5 of those that would need to be below 5. That's a 6. There's no 6 there. Please let this give me something. This becomes a 7. 7, 2, 8 is locked out. There's no 7 there. No 8 there means there's no 8 in either of those. This is 1, 6, 7. There must be an 8 up there. There's no 8 or 7 there. This is a 6, 9. I can take 6 out of there. This is 7, 8. I can take 7 out of there. This is 1, 6. That was hard. That 6 is looking over there, making this 1 and this 6. There's got to be something simpler than that I missed. There must be. That 7 is looking over there, making that 7, which makes that 3. That 8 is making that 2, which is making that 8, which is making that 9, which is making that 2. The 9 makes that 1, which makes that 9. That's now 2. I can take 2 out of those and 2 out of there. This becomes 4, 9 to complete that row. 9 is down here, so this is the 4 and this is the 9. The 2 takes the 2 out of there. In fact, that becomes a 4, and I can take 4 out of there. This becomes 2, 3. There is no 1 down here, so there is absolutely a 1 there. This becomes the 7 because of this 8, 9 pair, which makes this an 8 and takes 8 out of there. This has got some flow now. Oh! Watch it just crash. That's an 8. There is no 8 in any of those. There's no 8 there. This is 6, 7, 8. Please don't let this die on me. I don't think I can handle it. There's no, that 9 makes that a 2. So there is no 2 on the lockout line. 2, 6 locks out 1, 7, 8, 9. So all of those are possible. So I think we're done with the lockout lines for what they can do. And we're done with all, this is just Sudoku now. So yay, that's 7, that's 1, that's 6, that's 7. There is no 7 in there. There is no 2 in there. So this is a 1, 3. So I can take 1 out of there. This is 2, 4. The 1 in there makes this 5 and this 1. That places a 5 here. This is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a 9. So this is a 6 and this is a 9. This is an 8 and this is a 6. Goes back making that a 7 and that an 8. That 9 looks down making that an 8 and that a 9. There is no 8 in either of those. So we've got 7, 8. Take 8 out of those. The 7 looks back, making that 6 and that 7. The 6 makes that 9 and that 6. Come on. 4 makes that 2 and that 4. The 2 looks down, making that 3 and that 2. The 3 looks up, making that 1 and that 3. The 1 looks down, making that 8. And we finish with a 1. Holy cow. That was a really good puzzle, but boy, did I fumble it in the middle. Ooh. I mean, it was so clever the way these lockout lines put pressure on each other and you were able to determine the 5s and the way it all kicked off with that Kropki dot. I mean, you really had to... I mean, I'm really glad I used my calculator because I think sitting there and like going through all of the options would have taken me... this would have been a really, really long video. Feel free to comment below if you think using a table of what the options are is cheating. But I mean, I still have to figure out what the options are and what the logic and the ramifications of it is. And that's what I find enjoyable. So finding that, like, I don't think it was cheap. It wasn't cheapened for me by having the table of options and being able to sort of eliminate the ones that weren't possible as I was discovering them. I just wasn't doing it in my head. I don't have a very good head. You can see that. Hi. The figuring out these Kropki dots. I mean, this one I thought was quite nice, and the pressure from these, and the 3-5 down here was really clever. But yeah, figuring out, I mean, I can't even remember what broke it open, and just, I'll have to watch the video back and figure out what eventually gave it to me because I just felt lost there for so long. Oh, that's right. It was figuring out that if I put a 4 in here, I needed 5 low digits. That was so hard to spot. I'm sure there was an easy way of doing it. Please tell me what it was. Thank you, Tyrgannus, for the video, for the puzzle, and I hope the video wasn't too horrible. Thank you, everyone, for watching. The maybe one of you who got this far. Yeah, thank you. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you want to see more. Hopefully, not puzzle better than this, video better than this, and solve better than this. And I look forward to seeing you again. Have a good day. Bye.